You're listening to Permission to Heal, proudly brought to you by Alli Therapy, where brave human stories around mental health meet expert insight. And I'm Kelly, your host and registered psychotherapist at Alli. Join us in a space to speak freely, connect deeply, and heal in community. We are here with my incredible coworker, associate therapist, Miss Luisa.
Me.
That's her.
Yeah.
What are you here to talk to us about today?
Gay people.
Gay people.
Yeah.
Are you one of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's like
I guess
no
we will find
spoilers,
out.
Kelly. Don't tell people.
But yes, you are here to share your journey, your story of exploring the sexuality part of your identity.
Yes.
And queerness and what that means to you. And also there's some immigration and moving that goes into it and some family dynamics. We're here for a great ride.
We are. I mean, I talked to my mom a little bit about it. Should we talk about how this is like our second time here because we had audio issues?
We're talking about it now.
Yeah, let's be honest. We had some audio issues, and after we recorded this episode originally, I got to talk to my mom about like some memories that I had because it's like, hey, I lived through it and it was behind me. But now that I talked about it, I was like, that was kind of bad. That was kind of sad. And she was like, yeah, it sucked. And then she started like dropping. It was like, more things suck about it. I was like, wow.
Okay. So we have more details now.
We have more lore coming straight at us from my mom.
Perfect.
Because she had better memory because she was an adult and I wasn't.
Yeah. And maybe, she wasn't in quite of a probably not a trauma state, but a stress state.
Yeah, I think my mom's always stressed, but yeah.
Okay, fair.
Sure, no, I see what you mean.
Fair.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So, beginning. Where'd you grow up?
I'm from Arequipa, which is a city in Peru. And it's, like I said, it's my city.
Yeah.
No one's allowed to go there. But it's beautiful. Really beautiful. I'm gatekeeping it.
What's so beautiful?
We have three volcanoes. But there is one in particular that people are like, whoa, this is so nice. Like, you could advertise this at the Mount Fuji of Peru. I'm like, no.
Reviews, 1-star reviews, so no one comes.
Yeah, 1-star reviews. Nobody come here. We'll try to kill you. Don't approach, but also, like, do approach if you go there. It's beautiful. And hit me up. I always give recommendations. Funny enough, I have a client who's going soon.
Oh, my gosh.
To my city.
Coincidence?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Because they were Peruvian itinerary, like, let's go Peru, and Arequipa was there for like 2 days. I was like, sick. So that's where I'm from. A beautiful city in the middle of Peru. South.
Okay. So. Tell me about your family.
My family is composed. Oh, my favorite thing about my family, I will say, I consider my nana, my mom, and my aunt my family because they raised me. They're all Sagittariuses.
Which means I'm not a horoscope girly, so you're going to have to describe.
And I'm an Aries. And that just means we try to kill each other all the time. But that was good because we're all women. We're all very strong and opinionated. And from the get-go, that just really established that's enough to build a family. You can just have like a bunch of ladies running the operation and it's fine. So it's like divine environment to grow up. But I do have to say, like, Peru as a progressive country, it's getting better, but it's nowhere near what I would describe as good or acceptable. So, in other words, it's really bad. It's really bad.
And what was your experience of that when you lived there?
It was really bad. There was not a lot of like queer people in my school who were out at all. In fact, that there was some teachers that there were rumors about that ended up getting let go. And so it was very much something that you understood, like, this is a bad thing that comes with consequences. And of course, like, you use gay as an insult all the time. for anyone. So
Mhm.
you do grow up with that connotation that homosexuality is like really bad. And even though I went to a school that wasn't that didn't really have a religious affiliation, we are a Catholic city and a Catholic country.
Yeah.
So even though there was no affiliation whatsoever, there was. So
It's
that got brought into the conversation a lot.
yeah, it's in the roots, it's in the blood of people, it's in the programming.
I bleed God. Like, where's my God swag? God swag. God swag. Always on me.
Yeah.
Because the Lana Del Rey Catholic core aesthetic is good. And it
is.
looks nice.
You are a fashion queen.
I am a fashion queen. I love it. But yeah, it just also, like, funny enough, but like fashion also, I found that here as means of expression, because I guess you feel so restricted by
Mhm.
everything that is seen as bad, or like even queer adjacent. You're very limited into how do you express your femininity, or if you want to express any kind of masculinity, what
Mhm.
comes with that, right? Because it was always like the question, like if a girl liked football more than like volleyball, it was like, "Ew, is she gay?
Ooh,
Is she
yeah.
gay?" There's this word like marimacho, which is like, it takes mari from like a slur that describes gay people, and macho, which means like male,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, and they say that to lesbians, to our butch queens, and like any kind of woman who is not as female presenting
Mhm.
as they should. So it's just very limiting, it's asphyxiating, and I think that's why I had to leave, because there just was a lot there. In my family dynamic, we have queer people in the family, but we can't really talk about it. I found out that we had queer people in the family when my mom confronted me over joining a Facebook group for LGBTQ individuals. And she was like, What is this? Why are we supporting the gays?" And I just started like, because the gay people deserve rights." And my mom was like, "Oh, okay, you just need to be careful with that." And then immediately I get defensive, because something was happening internally, but I hadn't connected the dots. I just felt like this strong sense of justice that really got triggered when, like, around like the queer community,
Mhm.
and I didn't really know where it came from. That clicked like
Yeah.
later on, but at that time she was like, "Be careful with it." I get defensive, and she's like, "It's because so and so in the family is, you know?"
Yeah.
And
So you hear this family secret come out.
yeah, and I'm like, "Whoa, I am stupid as hell." Because and they were roommates. How did I not see it? It is
Yeah.
like right in front of my eyes. But there you go. You don't see things that you are not told that can exist. Right? So you're like, no, this is perfectly fine. We're all friends like that. We sleep in our friends' beds and all of that.
Yeah, you believed the
So
story
yeah, I was
because
like,
what other choice, what other option do you
that's
have?
friendship. It's just we're just, and that's also how I kind of end up like discovering my own sexuality, because everyone was a friend. Like, women were friends. Of course, they were friends until you start developing feelings that are confusing.
Okay. And those confusing feelings, when did you start becoming aware of them? When you were in Peru still?
Yes, it was very much in high school. I had one particular friend who started off kind of like as a frenemy, and then we just became really close. And then I didn't realize that there was more to the relationship when she got a boyfriend.
What did you
Because
notice?
I was fine when she had like other friends. Like, she would hang out with like other people. That was totally fine. So I was like, okay, that's not the same kind of jealousy. And this jealousy hurts.
Yeah. It's that
Right.
painful kind of jealousy. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
and that flagged to something. There's something here that kind of starts that little seed in your mind of, okay, maybe I'm not straight.
Well, it was actually maybe there's something wrong with me.
That's so sad to think about.
I know.
But of course, that's where your mind went because of everything you described about Peru. And honestly, in North America, I think, even with where we've come, a lot of people probably go there.
Yeah. Oh,
first.
Yeah. We're therapists.
What's wrong with
we
me?
see it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, clients come like, my parents hate me because I'm gay. And we're like, okay. That still happens.
Yeah. Or I hate me, or this is wrong, or I am going to put this into my shadow and I'm going to shove this into a box in a closet and lock it and lock that door and force something that doesn't feel authentic to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Happens a lot.
And yeah, and I think you're right. It's so common that, but it's also something that shouldn't happen, right? So I want to talk about this layer because when I came here and I learned that, like Canada is very accepting to gay people. We have Church Street, like in Toronto, the gay street, we have Pride. So that was great.
You're like, woo, my people.
Yeah.
I can be public. I can celebrate.
Yeah. I can celebrate, or at least like explore. At least let's settle for stop hiding that this exists and let's see what else can be there. But then there comes strange little pressures, like what you're supposed to look like as a queer person. What kind of queer person are you? Then you have all this freedom that is paralyzing, and you realize you don't know how to be gay.
Yeah. It's almost like this initial really great feeling. And then pressure and confusion and angst and panic. I feel the panicky.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who am I supposed to be? Okay, I'm queer, but oh gosh, what kind of queer? And oh gosh, is this kind of queer that maybe part of me identifies with? Are they going to accept me? Am I that version enough?
Am I attractive enough to this group of people that I don't fully understand? And there's so many labels, and there is so many things that you kind of need to know in order to feel like you belong in the community, that you end up just feeling like an outsider inside.
It's almost like you need a mentor, you need a book, you need a guidebook, but those things don't exist.
You need a mentor and a guidebook. And I feel like a lot of this we see in the drag community when there's like house mothers and like houses, right? Where someone here will guide you through this process, right? But
it's still not open to everyone, though.
No.
You still have to be in the drag queen category
right.
to...
It's for that specific community and those specific needs. And of course, like they support each other through life, but there is not really a like, come here if you're like a lesbian, or come here if you're bisexual, come here if you're like this or that. So it's hard to just grow up and know all of these things as you come with like so many feelings that you've repressed for so long, and now you have to let them out, but you don't know how, and you don't know. And still, dare I say, even to this day, it feels like a little uncomfortable to discuss and to carry, because it's so easy to be straight almost. No disrespect to all the women out there that like suffer in relationships.
Sure.
But it's so natural in the sense that you see it in your parents, you see it in your other friendships, you see it on TV. You grew up watching it on TV. You grew up like with all of these examples of what a relationship is and how it develops and how easy it is. Like if you're a boy and you like a girl, you just have to, Also, no disrespect to the boys out there that are nervous to talk to the ladies,
Yeah.
but it is as simple as like,
Yeah.
hey, I like you. They're never gonna say like, ew, you're disgust, or maybe they will. I don't know. But
Yeah.
they're not.
But
it's not gonna be like
insults are flirting too
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But there's you're speaking to, there's an unwritten but understood rules, guidelines
yeah,
around straight relationships, where in the queer community, those aren't widely, it's not understood.
no.
And there's no male female categorization to help with that understanding. So it's kind of like everything's unique, and you really have to go in being open, assuming it's going to be a little bit messy, and being comfortable with that discomfort and exploration.
Yes, I think it takes a lot of like what you wouldn't know at the time is therapy work, but it's like therapy work because you have to learn how to be uncomfortable with this, like to
Mhm.
push through certain boundaries, to be very much opening to experiences, and you have to do all of these scary things alone.
Yeah. Tell us about a scary thing that you can think of. Let's
Oof.
get in like a personal example.
This is like a little graphic, but I
Love
remember
it.
like the first time that I could have like a sexual encounter with another woman. That was absolutely terrifying. That idea of like you have the same parts is self-explanatory. To you, maybe. To me, it wasn't.
What were the thoughts going on?
I've never done this before. I have no idea how to do this. Like I'm gonna suck at it, and I really don't want to suck at it because then I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel like I'm not valid. Like if I suck at this, then I'm like, what does that mean? Like if I'm not good at the thing that I'm supposed to be good at, then maybe my whole identity is not real, right? It's almost like at that point, like if I didn't like how it happened, or my performance, or the other person didn't like it, or it felt any kind of wrong, that was gonna discredit all the feelings that I've had towards like women up until that point.
Felt really big. Like everything, your whole identity and your journey up until this point was sitting on your sexual performance
Yeah,
in that moment. How did it go?
it went okay.
Okay.
It went okay.
That's kind of what you would expect, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most humans who've had a first time know that the first time is not your measurement of like, this was like my best. If it is your best, like, who are you?
And that's
Who
taking
are
such
you?
a, I think, incorrect understanding of intimacy and sex,
Yeah.
where it gets better when you know someone, when you can communicate, when you have a
More
deeper
tools.
connection.
More tools to
More
understand,
tools, yeah.
like you, them, the act itself. Like as you grow, even in that category, it gets easier because it's not as scary, right? But the first time was so scary, and sure, like it did get better, but I think the main thing for me was like the point that I felt like, if I don't like this, does that mean I'm not, you know?
Yeah.
So
And then do I have to go back to the identity drawing board?
yeah,
Do I have to question
Yeah.
everything that I've just worked so hard to have a moment of maybe comfort with?
which is sad
Yeah.
because when you are growing up, you're already doing that part of like, this isn't real, and then you come to your senses and you're like, no, it is real, and then it feels like you're just taking steps back all the time. As
Yeah.
you tackle new things, it feels like you're reverted into this mental space where you were insecure.
Yeah, it's a lot of doubt.
It's
A lot of
doubt.
questioning.
It's a lot of back and forth with yourself. So it's like a bit
Sure.
of a dance. And it's even sad because when you can have relationship, there's still those barriers that I grew up with, right? My culture, my family. This is like a horrible thing. But when I was in relationships with other women, I would never tell my family
Yeah.
about it. And evil thought, but it was like, okay, if this person is good enough that I could risk my relationship with my family,
Yeah.
then I'll tell my family about them, which puts the other person in like a horrendous place where they have to somehow live up to my expectations. and be this magical person that is worth risking it all for. That's not fair.
Yeah, and that still probably won't have a significant impact on whether it's accepted by your family or not.
No, it was just stalling. It was just stalling, not wanting to create any kind of friction. Right. And I already felt very disconnected from my family because I knew my sexuality was a big part of the reason why I left, but they didn't know that.
What was the story you told them? Why did you?
Oh, well, I mean, it's so easy to leave, like to tell your family I want to leave. Like there's political turmoil.
Yeah.
There is
There's many reasons. Volcanoes.
There's many reasons. There's so many reasons why you would want to leave. The reasons why you would stay in Peru is because the food is so good.
Okay, so that part wasn't that difficult.
No.
Let's go to this conversation that you had with your mom.
Yes, because that conversation was hilarious. I haven't come out to my mom, but my mom knows. Because I do think like a good mom knows her child.
And you two are connected. You two are bonded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got so many things from my mom, all bad and also all good.
Yeah.
I'm like a mini version of all the women who raised me, which is fantastic.
I love that.
Yeah.
You get to carry them all with you all the time. And I'm meeting them through knowing you. Oh,
yeah.
Delicious.
It's so strange. Like even like the way that I dress is like a slight influence of this and a slight influence of that. And like, it's so fun. I love them. But the conversation with my mom, I was saying that I had so many memories of this one family member and my relationship with them and how much they've always meant to me and all these memories about my grandparents being mean to them or making weird comments. Like I have this very vivid memory of being maybe like 9 or 10.
And this is your queer family member.
Yes. So this is about them, right? I'm at my grandparents' place and I hear this comment of, hey, you should be careful about letting Luisa hang out with this person because, that person is a bad influence and that can like rub off on them. And of course, at 9, 10, I didn't know what the bad influence
you didn't
was.
even understand.
I was just like, this old lady, this hag is trying to like push me away from a person I like. So I got, again, very defensive. And I told my mom, like, I was just being mean that whole afternoon. And they were like, what is going on with her? Because I didn't voice that. I heard that. And then my mom was like, well, if you're upset, tell your grandma what you're upset about. I was like, because you said this. And my grandma was like, no comment.
Okay.
So that conversation died there.
Yeah.
But I already had those ideas in my head about like, wait, what is going on with this one person? Why do we...
And that makes a lot of sense why your grandma would just shut that down.
Yeah.
Just, no.
Yeah. One time I was, again, my grandparents' home. I asked for a Bible and I started looking for the verses that spoke on homosexuality, but at the same time, I have no idea how to look things up on a Bible.
Like, so you read the Bible and highlighted as you went?
I was like...
That's a lot. It's a big book.
I was like, Grandma, you are familiar with this scripture. How do you look things up on Bible? Like...
Where's the index? Where's the glossary?
Where do I find this? And I gave her like the little snippets. Like, I don't remember what it was. Like Matthew, whatever. And she showed them to me. And she also read them with me. And then she went and had like secret conversation with my grandfather. Came back. Was like, why did you look that up? I was like, I don't know. I was curious to know what God was saying. And again, a conversation that died pretty quickly because it went from like her excitement like, oh my god, she wants to read the Bible, to like, oh no,
not those parts,
not those parts of the Bible, how dare you.
Yeah,
so
we don't listen to those ones.
No, don't look things up in the Bible. So little things.
Yeah.
And this is as I'm growing up. Then when I'm grown and the incarnation of the devil on earth, because I was a very difficult teenager, I started getting into fights with my family, like big fights
Sure.
with my mom, with my aunt, with my grandma. And this is where more of the lore started developing. And I confronted my mom about her complicity into allowing for this family member to be treated a certain way that it wasn't okay with me. Because at that point, two things transpired. One, it got so bad that I was not allowed to hang out with this family member at all anymore. But
Okay.
so what we would do is they would leave the house and lie and say, I'm going to school, because they were like in university at this time, right? I'm going to school. And me and my mom would lie and make me lie with her. I was like, we're going to the mall. And then we would all go downstairs and hide to meet up with this family member and their
Mm,
partner and just like go to the mall together and spend time together
yeah.
and have a good time together. And then this family member decided to move in with their partner, which great, fine, fantastic. But when my grandparents found out, they said, you either kick them out or you forget about us and you forget about the family and you are cut off.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happened and the family member came to me and they were really angry, obviously, and they were like, I'm done with the family.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. I, till this day, me being like in my 30s, they don't want to talk about what happened in that conversation because it happened over the phone. And they always tell me, like, one day when you're old enough, I'll tell you what was said to me because it was really bad. And from that point on, for the next 12 years, we didn't have a Christmas together. And
Yeah.
we would have to split it between Arequipa and Lima because my grandparents live in Lima. And it was either you see your grandparents or you see the other part of your family. And to me, it was awful because my mom made every effort she could to accommodate my grandparents. And I became really resentful towards that.
Leading to some of this conflict you're talking about in your adolescence.
Because I don't understand, like, I guess even now there's nothing we can do to solve the situation. But my mom always, she's an ally. Like,
Mhm.
she always voiced, like, her best friend in high school was a bisexual man, who also ended up taking shelter in our house.
Wow.
Yeah, when he got outed to his family. So, and my mom's been in this proximity to queerness for
Mhm.
so long that I really questioned her morality when I was like, why were you never defending or setting
Yeah.
boundaries around the situation? You were always so complacent and trying to make everyone happy and make everything work when you should have challenged directly these things that were happening. And now, of course, she's like, you're right.
Yeah.
Because she can't argue with me. I have all the mental tools that my degree granted me. But back then, I just carry a lot of anger towards my mom and my grandparents because I didn't get the hate. And
Mhm.
I knew that at some point it was gonna be my turn to be at the receiving end of
Mhm.
that if I came out. And it was not only that layer, but it was the layer that, because in their little peanut worm brain, um being gay is something that you know, like contract, like get like the
Mhm.
flu or something.
It's like a
It's a
disease in their mind.
disease. And this person gave it to me, so it was gonna just double down the hate on
Yeah.
them.
Now you're contagious too.
Yeah.
And that's the reality that you were looking at if you were going to be honest about your identity with your family.
It was pretty much two birds, one stone. It was like, we was gonna get like.
Yeah. So what do you do with that? This seems like kind of an impossible situation.
For a really long time, I did nothing. Rather, the only thing I would do is like just like live my life here and report back very little. I was lucky enough that I was in university, so my report would be like, I'm getting good grades, and things would be happy, and we would move on from that.
And that was enough. That was enough.
That was enough.
Yeah. And it protected you as well.
Yeah, and at the same time, I was in a heterosexual relation, but an open relationship. Specifically because I wanted to be able to explore my sexuality without having the pressure from my family to date. Right? At my age.
I have a boyfriend, so shut up, family.
I have a boyfriend, and my family was just like,
yeah. And also boyfriend, I'm hooking up with girls.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Had a girl.
Yeah. So it was working out in the way that it should have. But nothing lasts forever. Or maybe some things do. But that relationship did not last forever. And that relation was a long one. It was like 7 years. So at that point, I am definitely older. A little bit past my mid-20s. So my brain functions differently. And I'm like, I'm going to focus on myself and what I want and like being genuine to myself. And that is when I came out to my nana. Was the first person that I ever came out to. Again, shout out to my nana. She's gonna turn 100 in November.
Stop it.
Our progressive queen.
Oh my gosh, Nana.
She is the real ally.
Oh.
So when people are like, oh yeah, it's like boomers, I'm like, don't you dare.
Yeah. She's got her morals, her values, her priorities straight. She has lived enough life to know what is important.
Exactly. She knows everything because she predates like history.
Yeah. She predates it. She wrote it.
Yeah, she wrote it. She wrote
it. How did that go?
Fantastic. As good as something can go. I do want to say, no, she's not senile. She is very much herself until this day, okay? So it was not like an off-liar that's like, oh, great, good. No, she was very much in her right senses.
She understood what you were telling her.
Like, yeah, I put it down, she picked it up. And I just told her, it's like, hey, there's this girl. I really like her. I'm dating her now. And she was like, who? So I show her a picture. And the first thing she asked is like, what do her parents do? Like, does she work? Like, all the questions that you would get, like, that I got when I got a boyfriend. It literally made no difference to her.
Yeah. Her being a girl was not interesting to your nana.
No. And also, I have to say, this comes from that bisexual friend my mom, like, sheltered in the house. My nana was the first person to be kind and accommodating to him. Same thing with our family member who is Fruity Pop. She loves them so much and has been a part of their journey every step of the way.
It's incredible.
Defending them from their parents, defending them from everyone, defending their partner, has a very loving, close relationship with their partner. They're just a fantastic human being. So that went well, and that's why that's the only person I willingly came out to, because they deserve it. They deserve me willingly revealing that and me sharing every aspect of myself. So it's a price. It's not a thing that I have to do. It's a thing I really wanted to do.
Yeah, I love that. You sharing that part of your identity with someone is a gift to them. It's you have made the cut to be someone who is trustworthy enough and important enough and awesome enough for me to share this with you. You're welcome.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a gift. The reason why I don't come out to my mom or like even like my family member who's queer doesn't really know, but I feel like everyone knows at this point.
Yeah, your mom knows.
Yeah, my mom knows. When I was single for like a 2-year period, she was like, "Are you gonna date a guy or like a person?" I was like, "Get out of my room, leave. Never discuss this with me again." Sure.
Because why? Why did you shut that down?
I don't like my mom involved in my love life. She gets too excited.
You want to keep that for yourself. She's not ready for the gift.
She just gets too excited, and it's more of like a thing, like it irritates me than anything else. Like she is just too happy, and that irritates me because I'm still a teenager somewhere deep inside. But the other person I came out of my family was my dad, and that was completely accidental.
How so?
We both had been drinking. The one thing I have in common with my dad is that we both can drink. People on my mom's side of the family are allergic to alcohol. They're part Chinese, so they get Asian flush. When they drink alcohol, they can't. They have a really bad time. So the only person in my family who can drink is me, which is hilarious. Well, me and my nana. My nana can also drink. She drinks a lot.
That's why she's turning 100 in November.
That's why she has so much wisdom.
Let's not promote alcohol.
No, but like she's talked to a lot of like people under the, so she knows all the secrets. She's full of wisdom.
Yeah.
So her, my dad, the only people who drink. And me and my dad have nothing in common. We don't get along.
Well, this is the first we're hearing about him. There's not much of a bond.
No, I see my dad once a year, and I speak to him over text, like Happy Father's Day and Happy Birthday. But 90% of the time, I do forget his birthday.
Okay.
But
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that kind of relationship with a parent.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say at the point where like that coming out thing happened, it was in the midst of him being like a little drunk and talking shit about like queer people and how he really didn't want gay marriage legalized and how like that shouldn't be a thing. And tipsy me decided to say, well, I'm gay.
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
And
kind of thing.
This is really bad, but my dad was driving at this moment in time, and he just like stops the car. It was really late at night, so there was like not a lot of people. So he just like stops the car, like he just like hits the brakes. And when he hits the brakes, my brain sobers up, and it's like, what did I just do? Did I just put myself in harm's way? Like, is this gonna start like a whole thing? And then my dad just decided to keep driving, dropped me off at my grandparents' place, and then said absolutely nothing about it ever again.
So the same reaction that your grandma had around these conversations you were trying to have with her just doesn't exist. Eat squash.
Possum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and was that for you? How did you experience that?
After that happened, I, funny enough, got into like a huge fight with my dad the next day about politics. We have very different political views, and I always tell people I have no issue cutting off ties with my dad and not speak to him for 2 years. What makes you think that I would compromise for you? I'm very much solid in like the thing, like human rights. I know where I stand, and he stands somewhere else. So we got into this very big argument. He took it very personally. Started with the personal attacks. Like we escalated. We are Latins, so we're very dramatic. I ended up like running away from his apartment, going down all the flights of stairs.
Oh my gosh, I can picture it.
Running in the street. And then he comes after me and grabs me by the arm. And I'm like, don't touch me.
It's a telenovela.
It's a telenovela. And I'm like running, escaping. And after that happened, cut off my dad. I didn't spoke to him for 2 years. Not a single word. he tried to like reach out to me, talk to my mom, said like she can't do this, and my mom was like, she can, in fact.
Mhm.
So for 2 years, I had no contact with my dad after that. And I feel like part of that fight was not only political differences, but I touched a nerve. And because we jumped into politics so quickly
Mhm.
after that conversation that it felt almost like stage.
Yes, it was about identity.
It was a setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a setup. I got set up for failure with that one.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't great. But I mean, that was what it was. And now I'm very happy where I am in terms of like my sexuality because I stopped caring.
How do you do that?
I just spent so much time caring that I just didn't have it
Exhaustion.
in me. Yeah,
Exhaustion.
exhaustion. Like I just don't have it in me to care anymore. I very proudly identify as a pansexual person, bisexual, whichever label like fits it better to
Mhm.
whoever is listening. And I am currently very happy in a straight relationship
Mhm.
with a homophobic. No, they're not homophobic.
Oh, that was a
They're a
joke.
little homophobic sometimes, but I think that comes with like toxic masculinity.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting because we get to talk a lot about an experience that he doesn't understand, but he also has a lot of like queer family.
Well, I would assume that most of us have someone close to us,
Yeah.
whether we know it or
Or-
not, or many, many, many people close to us. Like, it's not something rare or a secret. It's part of the spectrum of sexuality and identity.
And it's so funny because like people don't really notice how close they are to like a queer
Yeah.
person. Right? I've had so many friends. Like when I go back to Peru, my friends are now different people. Like I
Mhm.
have a couple of friends who transition, and my old high school ex-boyfriend, who we are like super close, always been, was telling me, oh, like this girl, like does she tattoo? Like, and I'm like, well, so funny. You both now have the same name, and they're a boy now. He's a guy. And my ex was like, whoa, okay,
Okay.
cool.
Sweet. What else
Cool.
is in her? Okay,
We
but are
have
they
the
a good
same
tattoo
name.
artist? Yeah, are they a good tattoo artist?
They
Like,
were
let's get
actually
to
a
what's
piercer.
important.
He didn't know what was going on. I was like, no, he's a guy and he's a piercer.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I've also seen queerness develop back home. I went from having a circle in high school that was no one with my same experience, and now as an adult, I go back and I have a circle of friends that are queer.
Yeah.
All of them. I'm like, who would have known that in
Yeah.
high school we were all having these thoughts and these feelings, and we didn't show up for each other because we couldn't? But we, now that we're adults and nobody cares about anything, and we are so ready to fight anyone, we're so happy just being ourselves, and you get used to the looks and you don't care about the comments anymore. There's like so many cool queer collectives in Peru, and while we still have to do a lot to support the youth,
Yeah.
because you don't have tools at that time, the adults are such strong people. I am very proud and very happy to align myself with them because they've done so much work to get themselves where they are now, and they are so strong and so determined to create a positive change in society. So they are fantastic, and they're very much accepting. Like they know my whole journey with sexuality because we have deep conversations about it. And I always felt that even though I'm pretty happy in my relationship right now and it's a straight relationship, they understand that that does not take away from like my whole entire history and who I am till now. Like I am still attracted to women, and that is something that will most likely forever be a
Mhm.
thing. Even though I have a boyfriend who I love very, very much. But, and it's so funny, he always jokes that I actually do have a girlfriend because I kind of do, but I don't.
You kind of do, but
I
you
kind of
don't.
do, but I don't. No,
Who's your kind of girlfriend?
it's a girl that we've had a crush on each other for the longest time,
Yeah.
but nothing's ever happened because we're just like really good friends.
Yeah.
And we've always been partners, so it was never possible. But we're very in love with each other and very open about like how attracted
Cool.
we are, and we take care of each other so much. And he always is like, "Oh, that's your girlfriend."
Yeah.
It's like I share you with her. I'm like, yeah, you kind of do.
Well, it shows the different types of relationships,
Yeah.
right? It's not just romantic or platonic. There's all of the in-betweens.
Yeah, and I feel like as long as a connection works for you, it's a good
Yeah.
connection.
For sure.
And I get to still be reminded on a regular basis of who I am, because I am keeping these connections that keep me very grounded in myself. And I think that is really fun. Even with my boyfriend, we have a lot of things to discuss because we've both dated women. So we both have this insight into what that's like
And how difficult it can be
and
sometimes.
how difficult it can be when two people have a period. It's the worst thing ever.
If it's not timed well, 2
It-
weeks of the month, you're screwed. I'm just kidding.
It will happen that eventually the periods like will coincide when you live with someone
Yeah.
long enough.
Yeah.
It will happen. But it's just funny.
It is.
Funny. I think it's funny for him to understand the community from that angle. And he's gonna hate it that I say this, but I think he's become very like a lot more open with his family and the queer people in it. And I am very happy to see that because he's now a better
Mhm.
advocate because he understands the difficulties and the needs that they have. So
Yeah.
he's gotten a lot better at that, not even willingly. I think it's just by
Well, being surrounded and having your influence, right? And if I would
Yeah.
assume he will be listening to this, I will speak directly
don't
to
think
him.
so.
He's not going to listen?
No,
Oh,
no.
are you going to tell him?
I'm not like a bald man talking about stock, so I doubt this carries any value to
Hey,
him.
if he is, I think that's a beautiful shift.
I'm sure.
And I'm proud
I
of him,
have
even if he
no-
doesn't want to accept it. She shakes her head. He is not accepting of it.
No, that's what makes that relation. We both hate each other so much that
Yeah,
it works.
That's what you look for in a relationship.
Yeah.
Mutual hate.
yeah,
A foundation of mutual hate and then mutual love.
yeah,
But at the core of it, hate.
yeah. Hate, like we hate as people. Culturally, we've been brought. When you get brought up on like anger and like all this
Yeah.
like strong emotions, it feels like we connect when we disagree.
Yeah.
I love a little
Aw.
fight. I love a little argument. So
Too funny.
that's great. And yeah,
So,
so
for our listeners, since
Yes.
this podcast is called Permission to Heal, you're going to send out a permission to do something for listeners who are really resonating with the story of navigating their family relationships, their cultural identity that is intersected with their sexual identity, all that stuff. What's your message?
honestly, is like do whatever you want
Mm-hmm.
with your life. And I mean, safe things, hopefully. But as far as exploring and making mistakes and taking wrong turns, that is part of exploring. If you attach yourself to an outcome or a specific persona, you are gonna get where you wanted to get, but maybe not where you need to be. So sometimes it's better to be open not only to everyone and their opinions, but to yourself and what your heart really wants. because sometimes we have all this noise coming to us about who we're supposed to be and where our place in the queer community is, and that might not be it. Community can look like your coworkers who you're really safe with. It can be like the joke of like a gay man with like a bunch of like straight female friends. It can be that, but where you feel that you can be your most authentic self and where you can breathe, that's where you need to be. So don't question it too much. Just give yourself permission to exist without necessity to fit in anywhere.
Permission to exist without necessity to fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luisa.
Slay.
This podcast is proudly brought to you by Alli Therapy, where we believe that shame shrinks when we share our stories in safe spaces, and that every Canadian should have access to affordable therapy. Join the over 38,000 Canadians who have found their perfect therapist match through our personalized matching quiz at ally.io. That's ALLI.io, because you always have permission to heal.